All right, and there it is. Let's give this another go. We already have a solution prep for us from our last video. So this all nice and cold yet. Go ahead and throw that in there. All right, on the heat it goes. Let's see if we can get this gold. Well, I know we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it one way or another, and I think this is the ticket. Which we probably should have done a small test before we kind of dove into it, which I will be doing with the other encoded gold just to verify. So yeah, let's let this do its thing and pull that gold out. Right, and just like that, we have moved some metal. There we go. All right, that's exactly what we were looking to do. I'll let that cool down just a smidge before we go ahead and pour that off into the beaker. But yeah, we definitely, oh yeah, we got that colloidal gold to mess with now. Not the end of the world, but nonetheless, we can take care of it. So I'm gonna change it up here a little bit. We're gonna set up a filter, and yeah, we'll filter this stuff out. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and filter this out. I'm gonna try and keep the most of, like, the majority of the gold inside this beaker here. But this is more so just in case we decide, well, any of it decides to jump overboard and go into the filter. We can at least catch it. We'll filter that out a couple of times too. So there we have it. There's our gold. We're gonna do one more nitric boil just to verify we've got all of our goods out of there. This is small enough that the Aqua Regia would have no problem penetrating this now. So this is why it's a pain in the rear to do colloidal gold. You see how it stays in that water column for quite a while? There it is. All right. So let's get another nitric or boil started here. Just a little bit. It's going to be really hard to see the color pick up anything because the water darkens up pretty dang fast with this gold. And nitric. We're not going to put a whole bunch in there either. Go with 6. All right, throw that back up on the heat. And we're going to take our attention back to this here. set that down just like that. Alright, and this stuff looks pretty clear, but we'll run it again, just in case. We've got a pretty well packed filter. Oh yeah, we did get some goodies along there. You can see some gold trailing at the bottom. There we go. I like that. That looks good. All right. So we didn't have any reaction for this gold. And like I said, it's really hard to see if we picked up any color just based on that colloidal gold. So we're going to go ahead and filter this out a bunch. Actually, let me show you what we got so far here in the filter. So you can see we are packed. So we're just going to continue to use that so that we can... a dirty filter is a better filter at doing filtering stuff, right? The space in between the filtering material, you know, starts to pack up and allow smaller and smaller stuff to get through the actual paper, which is why, you know, you see some of us do 2-3 filters using the same filter, because it only gets better the more you use it, to a degree. All right, let's see here. See if I can get you actually a semi-decent shot of me filtering this out. Not that it's anything fancy, so just gonna go super careful with it. Try and keep the bulk of our gold at the base here. All right, well, on that note, we're gonna do that filter separately, and then it's only gonna absorb so much gold, right? But what we'll do is we'll do this by itself, and we're not gonna move it too much. We're just gonna go ahead and throw aqua regia right in there and get this dissolving. We should see a much faster reaction with this stuff because we've, one, made it extremely small, and two, we've eliminated a ton of the base metals. We'll just start with 6 milliliters of nitric. Alright, and we'll throw that on some heat. Alright, so we have our gold pretty much dissolved. Let's see here. What we're going to do now is, I can still see some nitric coming off of there, which we don't want any in this next process. So we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of sulfamic acid. And we got a reaction. So that reaction also creates sulfuric acid. So that's going to precipitate any lead that we have potentially in there. Not too much left, but there was a little bit. Alright. Add a little bit of water to this. Hold on, I gotta see what we got here. So we got 100 mils. I've got, we're gonna go into a 200 ml beaker. There we go. Alright, we're gonna let this cool down. And any lead that comes out, or silver chloride, we can collect that later in the filter. And yeah, we'll go ahead and drop this bad boy. We are getting there. We are so close to finishing and getting our gold. Really excited about this. Well, I suppose, hold on. Do we want to do it? Do we want to do it? I should have done it first before adding the water. But I think it's time. I think it is time for the scientific straw. And a little bit of status. Just like that. That is exactly what we are looking for. Woo! Yeah, buddy. Okay, here is our gold after our first, second. This is the second filtration. So we're going to go ahead, heat this solution back up a little bit, and then we're going to drop it with ferrous sulfate. Alright, I would say we are at a nice decent temperature to drop this gold. A little bit of ferrous sulfate crystals we're going to put in there. This should drop just the gold. I was made aware that there's platinum metal groups in here. So we're going to go ahead and go ferrous sulfite. These crystals are made by me. They work excellent. And they're already filtered, so everything else is just kind of add and play. Alright, let's see. Let's give this a good stir. There we go. Excellent gold drop. Yeah, I won't ever go back to SMB for the regular stuff unless I have to. You know, when we're all done with this, I'll definitely be doing it twice. So I'll do another drop with all of the gold total, and then we'll do the SMB in the second drop. But it is so much better, so much better. All right, and then I'm gonna just throw this back on the heat. Let it boil for a little bit, and yeah, we'll get a weight on it. Alright, so we've finally got the gold out of here. Let's just verify that we actually got everything out of solution. And we actually used a decent, well, hold on. Before I say the rest of that sentence, let's verify there's no gold. Alright, here is the test. I would have to say, I don't see any color change. So, I'm going to have to say that we got all of the gold out of there. It was quite the battle, but we got it nonetheless. Let's go dump some of that off of there. And we're not going to do a super cleanup procedure on this. We're probably just going to do a distilled water boil. And then we'll wait to really scrub the rest of this when we get the rest of the gold. So I've got a little bit of gold from that filter here I got to pull out. I'm dehydrating that first two solutions so that we don't have as much material to deal with. So I can hopefully get a good stannous test on that. And of course we got this along with your other project. Alright, let's grab the stock pot. I moved everything around. Alright, we'll make sure we don't give anything to the stock pot. The refining gods can't have this stuff. So what I found out is if you boil the ferrous sulfate, well, I should say the solution after a ferrous sulfate drop, it clumps up and it, I'll just show you here. So you can see how that stays together really nicely. No floaters, nothing like that. Alright, I'm going to pay attention to this last bit here so I don't send any over. Alright, get you in hand mode quick. So you can see how clumpy it is, right? It just holds together so nice. Alright, and then we're just going to do a rinse here. See, like, look at the color of that right off the bat. It's just gorgeous. Settles fast as lightning. Alright, we are done with that. Let's move that over. There we go. Alright, what is going on, guys? Here at the tabletop, getting a weight measurement. Alright, so look at how beautiful that gold looks. It's really not bad for just dropping with ferrous sulfate. I'm gonna break some of this up here a little bit. All right, and then we are good to go. How much gold did we pull out of here? 1.16. There's still a little bit more in here. 1.18. Of course, we got a little bit stuck to the side. We'll make sure we get all of that. Give this thing a good brush down. Make sure we can get every last bit of gold. All right, we got it up to 1.19. So, there we go. And we are going to give him his own vial. Oh, right. Yeah, I need one of these guys. From all of the different scenarios that showed up in here, I've been thinking about it, and I think I figured out what is going on. Hold on here. All right. So when we initially got this bag, it was partially done nitric boils, right? So, yeah, I was under the impression that it was ready for Aqua Regia. So I just dumped it in Aqua Regia. And we kind of ran into some issues with, it not dissolving, right? So we knew there was a plenty of silver in there just from all of the chlorides that we were dealing with. And then so I stopped that, and then I went back into the nitric boils, right? See, where I messed up was starting right away with Aqua Regia. I should have went right into nitric just to do a test run to see if actually all the base metals were removed. So that's definitely my fault. Because what happened was when I did the nitric boil, when I started with Aqua Regia first, I went and made a bunch of silver chloride, right? That basically lined the entire piece of metal we had. And what that caused was a protective layer when we went into the nitric boils. So nitric's not going to dissolve silver chloride. So the nitric couldn't penetrate that silver chloride layer, possibly mixed with gold, right? So it's not going to eat the gold, and it's not going to eat the silver chloride. So we just protected those base metals with that combination. So then I went back into AR trying to just kind of like bulldoze my way through this stuff, because we were removing some silver out of it, but it was just filling that, it was saturating that solution basically immediately, giving no place for the gold really to go. And that's when I went into my thought process was, okay, well, it's not dissolving in nitric and it's not dissolving in AR, so it's got to be a pretty good carrot scrap, which is why I went into re-encording it and adding that silver. Going back, what I should have done is just start nitric from the first batch, right off the get, just to do a test, just to verify. The second thing I should have done after AR is I should have just melted it again. And what that would have done is eliminate that silver chloride layer, give me an actual kind of look at the alloy, what metal alloy we have, and then we could make a judgment call from there, right? Either to add nitric, or not add more base metal, or just go right into nitric. And so that's kind of like the two big stones I hit. So we had to deal with the colloidal gold, which it's not the end of the world. Just keep a filter on hand, right? So you can catch it all like we did. And I still have that right now. I still have that filter in AR. So that's not part of this weight at all. So we still have more coming. So all said and done, we got the gold. We got the gold, and it looks great. So I'm really interested to see what you started out with for your incortations. I think that number would help me a lot too, because then I could kind of chase exactly what I got going on. So right now I've been just keeping track of all the gold, or all the metals, that at least the gold and the silver. So like I got a number on the silver chloride. I actually converted that into metallic silver, and then I got a weight on it. So I've got a number there. That video will be out tomorrow, Wednesday. And now I have a gold number, so I know how much I got there. And then all of that silver out of that nitric solution, I currently have cementing out, so I'll have a number of that. So if I add all this up together, we should come up with the total amount. I guess I can't say total because there's probably some copper in there yet, right? I think he said he did
and quart it with pure silver with a little bit of sterling. So there's going to be very small amounts of copper pulled out. So most of this metal should be measurable of where it's at or what we pulled out or if I'm missing anything. And I have been keeping track of all that just so we don't have like all of a sudden grams missing. Mama and baby are wrestling out there. And it sounds like baby girl is winning. So anyways, that is it for this video. This series though is not done. So I will post a video on everything once we got everything added up and tallied up. Just so that we know exactly how much gold, how much silver, and like I said, base metals I really haven't been paying attention to. But we can get an estimate of 92.5 of what I added, right? So we can subtract the copper difference that's going to be out of the cementation stuff. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been an interesting one. Yeah, I have learned a lot off of this little experiment. I'll tell you what. So I really appreciate the education. Yeah, just the experience. It's been fun. So hope you guys figured something out. Maybe learned something along with me. We always got something going on here at Silver still, don't we? Thank you guys so much. I'll see you later.